Let's talk about pricing strategies. Introducing a very pricing strategy. Obviously, you can go costs plus pricing, value-based pricing, if that's what your goal is, dramatic pricing, depending on your market conditions. So we'll talk a little bit about advantage and disadvantage of each of these. So cost price plus pricing, calculate the price based on production costs and desired profit margin. This is what we do. This is the costing strategy that we use. Andy, see you shaking your head. I'm assuming you do the same.
Yep. For most of our stuff, yeah.
Yeah. Some of it's value-based, I guess you could put in there. The ones that, are prettier product and stuff are cheaper, basically we stay with that cost price plus, you know your costs, what profit margin you want to make, and how much you need to make off of that. And that's what we do. So just, I'll look over at the sheet. We'll just use sunflowers for instance. They cost us, what our cost is 32 cents per ounce. That's what it costs for a tray, per ounce on a tray to get with all the costs of a tray. Then you got to add in your packaging cost, your labeling cost. You can add in delivery cost on there as well. That's also on the sheet. Then that comes up to, if we sell a package at $5, we're making $3.93 off of that packaging. So that's how we price our microgreens for sale. That's our retail cost that's going to grocery stores, our home deliveries. Andy, you do a similar thing?
Yeah, very similar. And we try and shoot for a specific profit margin, or at least stay within a range of profit margin, depending on what the crop is. But we also definitely do some value-based stuff as well. I mean, we have, the amaranths, the bull's bloods, the basils, the celeries, the sorrels, things like that we're going to charge more for because of what they are. I mean, and it's a premium product, essentially. Some of them take a longer period of time to grow, so you got to make sure you adjust your pricing for that as well. And then we definitely do some, like, I would consider dynamic pricing to a certain extent, depending on who the customer is. So there'll be some distributors will approach with a little bit lower of a price to get them on board. And then there'll be others that we approach a little bit higher price because they're not using anybody already or whatever, where we know, okay, we can probably make a little more off of these guys if we had to. So it just depends on the situation. But for the most part, we try and stay within that cost plus pricing as best we can.
Yes.
Just makes the most sense. It's the easiest to calculate by far.
Yeah. And that's where I think you want to be, but like Andy said, you've got to get into somebody, and then you can slowly raise their price up. We've done that with restaurants, get in a little bit lower price, and over the year, you raise it up to where you want to be at. We do restaurants every 3 months. We guarantee them a price for every 3 months, and then we can raise it after that or whatever else. And we have lowered it. We have gotten seeds at better price, or trays have cost less or whatever else, and we have lowered some prices, and then they order more. So there's also a balance with that. You got to think about too. You don't want to price it too high that they're not ordering a lot. You don't want to price it too low that they're ordering a whole bunch and taking you out of business. So definitely some playing with that and making sure you're making what you want. But if you use that sheet, it will lead you in the right direction for sure.
It's important. You have to know these things. I mean, you can't just go in willy-nilly and just be like, oh, I'll just charge whatever and, hope you're going to make money. So you got to make sure your profit margin. You got to make sure you put your budget together. You have to have that. If you don't have that, it's going to be a disaster.
Yeah, I've seen that in one of the groups. We won't mention which group that was in the Facebook groups, but some kind of support group that, selling 16 ounces of microgreens for $15. I'm like, no, you're going to be, and these people are an hour away from us, and I still gave them advice because I don't want them doing that. They're going to kill themselves. So they're going to kill the business of everybody, because if they go in with that price, they're going to ask me to go to that price. And obviously I cannot go to that price. We'd be out of business, and then it would hurt everybody. So definitely know your price. It's a big topic out there. So